Good morning.
Things are falling.
We're falling. Oh, they're not light.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome.
Sometimes you're just not as prepared as I think I am to like do anything, let alone like press record.
So professional.
But here we are. Yeah, we're pros. Welcome to the Ashes to Rubies live stream about life and recovery and a little bit more. I am looking forward to today. It is Wednesday.
Another day in recovery.
It is another day. I get to teach at a treatment center every Wednesday. And then we have our noon LifeLab group. And then guess what I'm doing in the late afternoon?
I already know.
I'm playing squash. I don't think you keep tabs on me that well. You might have forgotten.
Shared calendar.
I get a shared calendar. Do you share a calendar? Do you live off of Google Calendar? I share a calendar with like 5 people.
That sounds like a fun day. I'm
looking forward to squashing. I'm not very good at it, and I hate saying that, but I'm just not very good. I'm good enough to play, I think, but I have my friend today. He's a squash player, like he plays squash, and I've never beaten him, so maybe today is the day.
I am looking forward to. I didn't schedule anything today on purpose. So I have like the noon meeting, and then I have a meeting tonight. I'm going to be there at 6. I have a walk at 5. It's 4:30.
You have a walk?
If it's not raining. Yeah, I'm walking with someone. So that's my day.
Very good.
And so another day in recovery, and it'll be what it'll be. I was trying to think of something witty. I have nothing witty. I have nothing clever. Here we are.
The outside is starting to come into place with summertime and outdoor spacing, which is still too cold to do. But I did some things in our backyard. I hung up your little bird house, which is a bird feeder, not a house.
We never put bird seed in it though.
Why?
We're just not.
There was an incident with a rat.
So in the west end of our city, there is currently a bear that is visiting people's houses and eating bird seed out of their bird feeders. So they've asked everybody to bring their bird feeders in.
I didn't hear this.
I know for a fact that we in the east end have a rat problem in this city, and they eat out of your bird feeder. We haven't had a bird feeder with food for 2 years.
Would you prefer the birds were eating out of it for about a month? Would you prefer a bear or a rat at your bird?
I think I would prefer a bear. Do you know why? Because the likelihood that the bear is coming to my house is much lower.
No, but
I would prefer a bear.
Okay. Like, yeah? No, yeah.
I would rather have a bear.
I was weighing the odds of them. I think a bear would be much more pleasant to watch.
I would prefer to not know about the rats.
I'm not really sure that a bear could come into our house. Like I don't have a fear of a bear like attacking our house.
Yeah, rather have a bear.
Yeah. Because they'll leave.
Now, this is some sort of spiritual recovery principle, but I would rather not know about the rats.
You'd rather let the sickness be undercover.
Yes.
Okay. I'd rather eradicate the rats.
You have been working hard on eradicating the rats.
I have not.
If you love rats and you want us to be humane towards them, we are sorry to tell you that is not the position that we take. We'd happily send them to your house for you to care for them.
I think that the position that we take is the humane because there's feeders.
Let's not go into detail. We're going to do a reading on recovery. We're going to have a thought for today.
April,
that's the purpose
the 26th already.
The purpose of this video is to connect with people who are also looking for recovery are in recovery and who want to live a spiritual life versus a self-centered destructive life.
Addictive life, yeah.
Yeah. So today's thought for the day. The fellowship, the program, 12-step program, is one of submission, release, and action. When we're drinking, we're submitting ourselves to a power greater than ourselves, liquor. Our self-wills are no use against the power of liquor. One drink and we are sunk. In the program, we stop submitting to the power of liquor. Instead, we submit to a power also greater than ourselves, which we call God. Have I submitted myself to that higher power? Meditation for the day. Ceaseless activity is not God's plan for your life. Times of withdrawal for renewed strength are always necessary. Wait for the faintest tremor of fear and stop all work, everything, and rest before God until you are strong again. Deal in the same way with all tired feelings. Then you need rest of body and renewal of spirit force. St. Paul said, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This does not mean that you are to do all things and then rely on God to find strength. It means that you are to do the things you believe God wants you to do, and only then can you rely on his supply of power.
That was very good directive of
instructional.
The first part, and you already know this, I don't really like the word submission.
I don't really like the word liquor.
Yeah, you don't like it. But the reality is I'm submitting to a program myself, and it's an interesting way to look at submitting to a power, which is liquor. And liquor had power over me. I had no power over it. And that's where I lived in denial for like 15 years of that. And I just thought I had power over it and did what I wanted when I wanted. And sometimes I changed my mind, and sometimes I bent the rules and the boundaries and all that stuff. But the reality is it had power over me. And then what this is directing us is saying that I have to submit to God on a daily basis. And it's giving some really good direction of actually saying that I have to do that. Like, I don't have to do all the doing. Not everything has to be done, but what needs to be done is submitting to God and being directed by God, how he will have me be, and having space for that, having quiet time, not just like being busy for God. So I thought that was interesting, of like actually taking time on a daily basis to submit to God. His, not just like, what does that actually mean? Like, God, I submit to me. I submit to you. And it's like, do I submit to him by seeking direction and seeking inspiration and seeking things that he would want me to do or be instead? Seeking amends, seeking like, what am I submitting to? Like, I have my day, and then am I leaving time for the things that he wants me to do and submitting to that? Because I can get very busy and I forget that I'm actually in submission to God. And then I get so busy, and isn't busyness just a form of pride? I
do think that there can be pride in being busy. I also think that it's a challenge. So this really kind of, I was actually talking about this yesterday, feeling very scheduled, mostly in the evenings, and talking it through with some people of like, I don't feel like there's anything I can change about it right now. And so it's sort of the end of a season, or maybe kind of like, if you like the end of the school year. And so things will lighten up evening wise. For me, one responsibility drops at the beginning of June, another midday regular commitment drops at the end of June, and then another evening thing drops at the end of June too. And so I was just like realizing, like, it's okay that I feel this way. How I spend the time in between becomes more important. And so am I resting with God? Like, these are the things that I felt like God was calling me to do, and to commit to. And so even if I get tired if I'm getting tired or weary amongst them, it's not about like, I need to drop one of these commitments. It's about, what am I doing with the rest of the time? Because I have a lot of other time available to me. And so
that's good.
That felt really significant for me yesterday, because I actually was feeling really weary.
Weary?
Yeah, I was feeling really weary, or like I was feeling overscheduled. But if I sit down and I look at it, I'm not overscheduled. But am I?
So what do I do
What am I doing in between?
downtimes? Yeah. Am I actually being on my phone too much? Am I watching too much TV? Am I?
Yeah.
am I negating energy by having it drained from me from those kind of activities?
And there's really just, I really have seen the power of committing to my commitments and seeing them through. Like that is just has become very life-giving for me.
And doing all your homework, writing essays.
Well, that was the problem yesterday, is I hadn't done my homework for one of my things. And I really was like, okay, why not?
Did you do it?
No, I hadn't done it.
Oh, like you didn't get it done by the time? Oh no.
No, it was an insurmountable mountain. And so I just I just felt like I just need to give up.
Do they give you a grace period? Do you get to hand it in late?
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
so that doesn't apply.
Okay.
For this particular thing. And so that doesn't apply. And so it's just really about showing up and actually like participating in a conversation with other people who've done the same work. So then when I show up and have to say like, actually, I didn't do those things, I didn't read that. It's important for me to kind of be realistic around like, I just didn't. I just didn't. And so then.
And then do you look at the why that I didn't? Very good. Thank you. Good share. You want to pray us?
I can. I pray that God's Spirit may be my master always. I pray that I may learn how to rest and listen as well as how to work.
Beautiful. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
That for you.
I'll see you guys at noon. If you can't make it to noon, all of the Zoom information is there. So there's no real reason you can't unless some emergency.
We'd love to have you join us.
We'd love to see you.
Bruce is speaking today.
Bruce is speaking.
Doing the right things for the wrong reason.
Nice. There you go. Keep the peace. Be of good behavior. And we will see you sometime.